This is a Film Stories original podcast.
Welcome everyone to the X-Cast. The truth is in here. I'm your host, Sarah Blair, and you are listening to I Want to Believe Minute, where we examine the second X-Files movie 1 minute at a time. Today we are exploring minute 91, which runs from approximately 90 minutes, or an hour and a half, where the bad guy, Callum Keith Rennie, is sharpening his axe to 90 minutes and 59 seconds, with Scully assessing the scene in the makeshift operating room. Here to talk about this minute with me are Cortlan and Cathy. Welcome back. Cortlan, Waters Bartley. Welcome back. Cathy Glinski. We are here yet again.
Hi.
We're so good at this.
I was like,
the seventh minute will be great.
We're going to nail it.
We're going to have it just down.
We're going to be so good on that 7th minute.
Oh, man. Oh, so there's a lot happening in this minute. Let's break it down.
This is a good one.
Mulder is preparing. He's drugged still. Preparing to get the chop.
He's lying on the chopping block.
Right, literally.
Oh.
We've got a body nearby that's been dismembered.
It's in the garbage bag now.
We all know he's next. So, suspense has been set. Scully and Skinner are here to save the day. And yeah, there's some good stuff happening in here. Cathy, what does the script say?
Well, that's what I love. He's raising the axe above Mulder when whammo, Scully hits him in the head.
I wrote Scully whacks a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a loud, definitive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whack.
Yeah.
I said Scully whacks the dude. Go Scully.
the official scripted version is whammo, but
nice.
That works.
In the commentary, Chris Carter mentioned that Gillian whacked the camera, like, on purpose. Like, she actually whacked it. And he said she had a fun time whacking that camera. He's like, she's asking if she could do it again. And that line from Mulder, where he says, sorry about the car, that was an ad-lib. Apparently.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not there.
Felt like one,
but I loved it because this whole scene is like an inverse of their roles in Fight the Future. So Scully is rescuing Mulder, and then he says, sorry about your car, sort of like she said, I had you big time. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that little, exchange. It's so funny that he's going to say, sorry about your car. It's a very Mulder thing. But that David is thinking of that ad-lib in this situation where, he's been dragged across the car. All these things, and the first thing he's going to think of is, sorry about your car. Which
Drugged and dragged.
Yeah.
Poor Mulder.
But just the parallel to Fight, anytime I can talk about Fight the Future, I'm happy. So.
It is it's almost even a visual parallel, like from the other direction even.
Yes.
Like it's almost like an inverted, the camera view.
She's cold, he's cold.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the scene with Skinner later on.
Yeah.
And he's lucid enough to tell her the girl is inside.
Right, which she runs in, and Skinner's in there. He kind of does the same thing as Mulder, but with a little more authority.
Well, exactly. Now we have the bigwig from the FBI, the person who actually has a gun and a badge and has authority to order people around, maybe. So,
Who hasn't been concussed in a car wreck and trudged through the snow. He's been in the car, the warm car.
Can say these commands with
Right.
presence.
You know.
Yeah, with purpose.
And a gun. An actual gun.
An
that
actual
people
gun.
understand rather than just a wrench. Yeah.
And
So.
his, I love his, my God, what have you done? You know, it's
yeah.
so emotional reaction, he's not just throwing his weight around, he's actually horrified by what he's seeing.
Yeah.
So.
It's a very visceral reaction.
Yeah, and it certainly must feel like irreversible, like he's walking in on something that can't, like what are you supposed to do? Like, nothing. Yeah. There's nothing you can do for that head that's sitting on ice. Like there's nothing you can do.
Still blinking and looking at you.
Right.
Which is why I love Scully literally like rolls up her sleeves. She's
she
like, I'm on it.
Right.
Medical doctor on the scene.
Yeah.
She's ready.
Well,
and that was interesting too. When she comes in and she starts giving orders, she's sort of taking charge, calling the shots, and it makes sense because this is clearly a medical situation that Skinner doesn't know how to remedy, like you said. But it sort of demonstrates that this isn't necessarily an FBI matter either. It's something Scully needs to be doing this. And Skinner isn't there because the FBI sent him there. Skinner's there because of Scully and Mulder.
Yeah.
He's there for them. So many feels in this one.
It is. And, I just love that Scully walks in and she's like, okay. She's the one that, like, knows what's happening, at least, or can figure it out quicker than Mulder and Skinner both could.
Right,
They
yeah,
just
two
kind
of
of
them were
stood
like,
there
oh my God,
horrified.
what
They're like,
is
oh my
this?
God, there's a head, and
like,
what is going on?
yeah.
But Scully's like, I've got this.
She sends Skinner to do what he is capable to do, which is Mulder needs warm clothes and fluids, so she sent him to do that.
Yeah. So it worked out for everybody in the end, I guess. Well, except for the guy whose head was detached already.
Yeah.
But even Scully, as she's assessing that, looking around, she has the same visceral reaction that both Mulder and Skinner had. She's appalled. It's just that she's got the training to deal with this.
Yeah. She's just more prepared and more experienced in that setting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really like an operating room, but close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
But she at least knows what she's looking at and knows what she can try to do.
Well, I mean, she did just Google stem cell research, so she's fresh.
Okay, you
fresh
want my
up
theory
on
on that one? I don't think I've heard it on the show yet.
Okay, go for it.
She wasn't Googling how to do it.
No.
She was looking up information to print out to give to the parents so she could help explain to them what she wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
There we
That's
go.
what I think too.
Yeah. But I know that whole sequence takes a lot of ribbing from
It does.
fans.
It does. Yeah. So, I do love seeing Skinner working together with Mulder and Scully, because, like, it's nice. Because usually they're like, can we trust you? And it's,
Or
at
they're
least-
reporting to him, but they're not.
Right.
There are very few instances where they're working a case together.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, Paperclip is probably just about it, right?
SR 819
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and Zero Sum to an extent,
Kind of.
although
And
there's
kind of
we
Avatar.
can't trust you.
But they kind of are investigating for him because he can't.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he's not forthcoming
Right.
with them at the end.
Yeah.
But I do like it when they get to work together,
Right.
actually get out and do something together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Brand X, that was another one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
yeah.
think Brand X is another, like, Skinner instigated.
He called them in,
Episode.
and
Yeah.
Mulder and Skinner flash their badges together. I like that.
Good times. Good times. Yeah. How do you expect she imagined he would give him fluids? Like, get him some
Yeah,
glass of
I
water?
did always question that. Like, what kind of fluids is
Yeah.
Skinner going to give him in the woodshed? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can get him warm.
But
maybe she's just making a list, knowing what's going to happen. Right. We'll start with the warm clothes and we'll get him somewhere.
Yeah, maybe she thinks he's going to go give Mulder warm clothes and also, like, call 911.
Or maybe Skinner has a water bottle in the car that Scully knew that.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we're going to call some EMTs because we're going to need some help here.
Because he's got his phone. Don't call. Right, he's got his phone. He can call.
Skinner is in the woodshed Googling, like,
how to give somebody fluids.
Fluids. What fluids does she mean?
Yeah.
Googling fluids in the woodshed. What do I do?
Do you think that Skinner just learned about Google and so he's wanting to use it as often as he
Googles
can?
Everything now. Yeah.
He does. Like,
totally.
So cool. Ask me anything. I can find it.
I do think, though, like, once again, though, this is another example of, like, this is the climax of the movie. This is it. This is our, like, resolution. And I mean, Scully and Skinner definitely come in that room with a lot more oomph than Mulder did, but it's still pretty restrained, the whole thing. It's still pretty restrained.
Right. There's no shootout. There's no... Yeah.
Nobody gets...
We're not...
Well, I guess that one guy gets hit. Scully hits him.
There's very little resistance from the bad guys.
Right. It's like, oh, they found us. Dang.
I guess we'll stop.
Yeah.
Do they get locked in a room or something while she goes to...
I think they just stop, right? I don't know. Maybe they put them in the dog cages. I don't know. Probably
you're right. This is for a climax of a movie.
Yeah. It turns out
there's so quiet.
Very little.
It's just it just fizzles out, and I'm not saying it in a critical way. It's just sort of interesting that we can, have such a quiet ending. It's not what you expect of a big movie.
And I mean, like, in that way, it is the exact opposite of Fight the Future. Really, generally speaking, nothing happens here.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, a lot happening.
Yeah.
Before.
A spaceship that someone may or may not have seen. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like there are probably episodes that, Redux 2, right, was way more exciting and edge of your seat and intense than...
And yet there are some that just, by the end of the episode, you're not really sure what happened, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So this does fit the monster of the week.
Right.
Kinda. I think I would kinda agree with that. Like, I think usually in those episodes where there isn't, like, a big resolution or whatever, we're left with, like, mystery, though.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure that we're left with much mystery, at least as far as the case is concerned.
No, you're right. We have resolved the case. We just don't see it in a big, explosive way.
Right.
Yeah. What happened to the guy's head? Did they reattach it to his former body? Like, presumably Scully had to shut off the bypass so the head would lose its blood flow. And die.
Because she's going to save the woman who was about to lose her head.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Scully did. And the head that's detached...
is already detached.
Right.
There's not a lot to do for that.
No. Yeah. Can't fix that.
There might be a clue to what happened in the last minute we talk about, but I didn't look close enough.
Yeah. Cool.
Dun, dun, dun.
Speaking of that... Should we talk about the last minute? Let's get to it. Don't hold anybody in suspense, Cathy. We will find out about that in minute 92, coming up soon. But until then, trust no one.